Hello everyone, it is my great pleasure to share with you our work on a new cortical surface template. In the typical workflow of surface-based analysis, we start with a high-resolution structural scans of the subject and reconstruct the subject's cortical surface using free surfer. Each hemisphere of the reconstructed cortical surface can be inflated into a spherical surface. And we can compare the spherical surface of the subject with the spherical surface of a standard template and bring them into alignment based on cortical folding patterns. After alignment, those two spheres have correspondence, which means that we can project the set of standard cortical vertices from the template back to the subject's spherical surface and also the subject's anatomical surface as well. If we look at the distribution of cortical vertices on those two surfaces, on the spherical surface, the vertices are almost evenly distributed everywhere. However, on the actual anatomical surface, the distribution is far from uniform. It can be very sparse in the gyri and very dense in the south side. To quantify this, we computed the intervertex distance, which is the average distance between a cortical vertex and its neighbors. And this is the distribution of intervertex distance based on the FS average template. In this figure, the red color means that the intervertex distance is large and the region is sparsely sampled. And the blue color means that the intervertex distance is small and the region is densely sampled. Based on the FS average template, the occipital lobe, the ventral temporal cortex, and the prefrontal cortex are sparsely sampled, whereas the central sulcus and the lateral sulcus are densely sampled. FS average is the surface template used by FreeSurfer, and there is another surface template called FSLR, which is used by the Human Kinetome project, and it has the same problem as well. To solve the problem, we created a new surface template, which we call the onavg surface template, and that is short for open neural average. With the new surface template, we tried to uniformly sample the entire cerebral cortex, and it was created using high-quality structural scans of over 1,000 brains, which is 25 times more than previous surface templates. And as I will show you later, it can substantially improve MAPA performance and computational speed. This is the intervertex distance based on the FS average template, the FS error template, and our new open neural average template. The variation of intervertex distance across different brain regions are much smaller compared to previous templates. In the next part, I will show you how better cortical sampling can improve MAPA results. MAPA, or multivariate pattern analysis, relies on the quality of spatial patterns. When the data is undersampled, the resolution is low and we lose a lot of information, especially the information encoded in the fine-grained spatial patterns. When the data is oversampled, it doesn't provide additional information because the extra cortical vertices are just extra interpolations of the same original data. Therefore, for optimal MAPA performance, we want to make sure that every part of the brain is sufficiently sampled. To illustrate this, we performed a multivariate pattern classification analysis based on the study first dataset. In this dataset, 15 subjects watched the movie Forrest Gump in the scanner, while their brain responses were collected. For each subject and each time point of the movie, we have the measured brain response pattern, and based on the brain response pattern of other subjects, we can actually predict the response pattern of the test subject for every time point of the movie. We can compare the measured brain response pattern of a given time point versus all the predicted brain response patterns, and see whether the measured and predicted patterns of the same time point has the highest correlation among all the predicted patterns. The test data has over 1,000 time points, which means that the chance accuracy is less than 0.1%. This is the average accuracy based on the FS average template, the FSLR template, and the new onavg template, which is 7% higher than previous templates. And this effect is very robust. We observed it in all 15 up to 15 subjects. And it is also very robust against the amount of data. In this case, it's a between subject classification, and the amount of data is the number of subjects. Interestingly, for the accuracy that you can get with 15 subjects and other surface templates, you can get the same accuracy with the unaveraged surface template and 11 subjects. You may ask which brain region benefits the most from the unaveraged template. To answer the question, we performed a searchlight classification analysis of movie segments. In this figure, on the x-axis is the classification accuracy based on the FS average template. And on the y-axis is the accuracy based on the unaveraged template. Each dot represents a searchlight. In this figure, roughly 60% of the dots are above diagonal, which means in these searchlights, the classification accuracy is higher based on the unaveraged template than based on the FS average template. Interestingly, if we color the dots using inter-vertex distance, for most of the dots above the diagonal line, they were colored red, which means that those regions were the regions that were sparsely sampled based on the FS average template. And we observed a similar effect for the FSLR template as well. So in general, the brain regions that benefit the most from switching to the unaveraged template are the brain regions that were undersampled with previous templates. In the last part, I will show you how our new surface template can expedite computations for searchlight-based algorithms. Remember in the previous example, when we undersample the data, we lose information, and when we oversample the data, it doesn't provide additional information. If we consider computational time, when a brain region is undersampled, it's slightly faster, but when a region is oversampled, it's much slower. This is because the relationship between computational time and the number of vertices in a searchlight is not linear. In fact, the relationship is often polynomial or exponential. For example, for singular value decomposition, if we double the number of cortical vertices, we don't just double the computational time. Instead, the computational time can be 7 times as long. And similarly for other matrix operations as well. We benchmarked the computational time of various algorithms, including hyperalignment, RSA, and classification analysis. And for all these algorithms, the computational time based on the unaveraged template is shorter than other templates. And on average across all the algorithms, there is an 11.5% reduction in CPU time, which means that the unaveraged surface template can potentially make computational neuroscience a little bit more environmental friendly. So to sum up, in this work, we present the unaveraged surface template, which evenly samples the cerebral cortex, substantially improves MVPA performance, and speeds up searchlight-based computations. This QR code will take you to a website where we have detailed instructions on how to use the unaveraged surface template in your own studies. With that, I want to thank my co-authors, the funding agencies, the software and the platforms, and those who generally share their data through these platforms, which made this work possible. And thank you for your attention.